The Seattle Seahawks, as of Sunday night, because the Falcons lost to Washington in overtime and the strength of schedule nonsense and blah, 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 have been officially eliminated from playoff contention. And as a majority of Seahawk fans that do watch this show and watch various clips of the program and stuff like that, I am not upset of this outcome. And I will tell you why. A majority of the NFL media has projected this team to finish under 7 wins, saying, "Oh, the Carroll loss is going to be bad." The Carroll USA Today and their incompetent asses predicted Seattle to finish 5-12. So, need I say more? I was under the impression that the Seahawks would win the NFC West with 11 wins, and I was wrong, and that's fine. Nope, no shame in that. And I thought the defense would be better than they were last year. I was right about that. Mike, what gives me a lot of hope is the defense and the fact that this is the first year of a new system, rookie head coach, new offensive coordinator, completely new system that you're trying to do here in Seattle. Completely new era. And I know a lot of the Hawks fans are like, "Oh, fire Ryan Grubb." Oh, there's a good chunk of them. They're like, "Oh, fire Mike the old heads that date back to like the Chuck Knox era." or like, "Oh, the Pete Carroll old heads are like the loyalists," as Dustin would say. Like, "Oh, Mike McDonald's not the guy." I'm like, "What are you, out of your mind? It's a first-year head coach."
Yeah.
And
yeah. A lot of Seahawk fans, you better check the filter maybe in their heater, because some of these fire. That's all they ever talk about. So it's like,
unbelievable.
Can you relax just a little bit?
Yeah, and we've preached this for 3 weeks now. Just calm down. It's fine. And even the fact that they didn't make the playoffs, I said, okay, there's something here to build on.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of young talent, like particularly in the last 2 drafts. Devin Witherspoon, perfect. Devin Witherspoon's a building block to build on. You got guys like
Jackson Smith Najigma.
Yeah, he might be the single biggest reason why the Metcalf trade rumors have picked up over the last several weeks. He is the biggest reason why, and he's
going to wind up with 100 receptions for 1,000 yards. So
he absolutely is, and the other draft picks are like AJ Barner. He reminds me of a younger Jimmy Graham a little bit. The way he just fights people, I love it. They have some more pieces there that you can really look at and go, okay, they have some promise here. Anthony Bradford. Christian Haynes, Oluwatimi. They have pieces here. Michael Jarrell.
Yeah, Oluwatimi's done very well.
He really has. Satalo Lamea, Zach Charbonnet, Kenny McIntosh, Kenneth Walker. They have talent on this offense.
Yeah.
And that's what gives me a lot of hope is, okay, give it 1 or 2 good off seasons for them to really compete and really to say, hey, let's go for it. Let's go for something. Let's go for a Super Bowl. Let's go for an NFC title. Let's go for the division. It says baby steps, people, baby steps.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna say that I am a little bit disappointed because I was kind of on the same page as USA Today. I did not think the Seahawks would be 5 wins, but I didn't think they'd get over 7. So everything that they've done is gravy, although there have been some frustrating points. I still will go to that Giants game. They were inept during that Giants game.
Yeah.
And the Giants do have a better defensive rush and a defensive front four than people realize, but still, the offensive line did not protect Geno at all that game. It was 9 sacks, I think the Giants got. But also offensively, the Seahawks did the same thing that they did against the Bears. And I will pass the torch to you shortly, Kevin, because I know you agree with me a little bit about this. But I am happy with the way the season went because They overachieved a little bit. I
They
thought it
did.
would take. I thought it would take a little bit longer for the Mike McDonald / John Schneider rebuild to go into effect. But as you pointed out, they have been right about certain things, and we will give credit where credit is due. Pete's last draft, he had some picks. He had some picks that were some good ones in there. And I remember a head scratching at the time when Kenneth Walker was selected, and then they drafted Charbonnet with a little bit. I have a friend whose last name is Charbonneau, so I have to like stop myself every time. They drafted Charbonnet. I kind of was scratching my head because people were saying they probably could have got him later, and they already drafted a running back, and they have needs other places. But the Charbonnet pick is making a lot of sense now. And there's other picks on the that you're excited about this roster.
Yep.
And but I'm gonna pat if they didn't play down to the Bears and the Giants, and I really look at the Rams game, that Rams game that we could have won with the two red zone interceptions. Those are the linchpins of the season. But I, like you, Mr. Smooth, am very happy with the way this season came out, despite the loss. There has been some frustration, but here we are. And with that, I cede the floor to you, Kevin.
It takes time. It takes time. But yeah, you go, Kevin. See what you got.
Okay, so I thought, if you told me before the season began 9 wins, I would have been down with that.
Mhm.
So, but the main thing that it eats to this very minute, just eats my insides is that Giants game.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, that's right there. And a little bit, when you look at this a little bit, the Seahawks lost 6 games at home.
Yeah.
You
that's a big
cannot
one.
be a serious team if you're losing 6 home games. And I know they played a lot of great teams like the Bills and all that, but still 6 wins or 6 losses at home. They still wound up with 9 wins. I don't know how they managed to pull that off, but just the fact that they lost to the Giants until this last weekend, the Giants hadn't won a game since then.
Yeah.
And so that really, 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 eats at me, because not only did they lose the game, but at the time, one of our Belly Up associates, Nathan, is a Giants fan, so I had to listen to him go on and on and on about that. So it just eats me to this, like I said, this very minute that they lost that game. So you turn that result around, and let's say they went into LA and lost. There would be no, lots of people lose in LA, and they did, and then they didn't win a division. But at least they'd be in it.
Yeah.
And they're not, and it all rolls down into that Giants game. And another thing is like the Packers, right?
But let's backtrack for a second here.
Okay, backtrack.
Let's backtrack. The 6 home losses, that stings a little bit, but let's also understand and say it's a rookie head coach, an offensive coordinator's never called in the NFL.
Yeah.
And what have we clamored as Hawks fans since the final 4 years of Pete Carroll's tenure? Just get this defense going, please. Mm-hmm. Okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah, they were 13th in total defense.
Yeah, this defense.
You will take that.
I will take that
all day long.
In a heartbeat.
And it's dangerously close to top 10. And we all know that if you're getting into top 10 defense, now you're cooking with gas.
Yes.
Right. And you talk about top 10, Dustin, because they were 10th in points allowed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we're they were right there as far as defense, but the rush defense was 18th. They've got to improve that. And if they do that, then the defense is on its way.
Yeah, and they have the players to do it. Byron Murphy, we're only getting a sniff of what he can do, and you see the potential there with Byron Murphy. And the Leonard Williams, I am stunned Leonard Williams didn't make the Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah,
stunned.
That's the Devin Witherspoon's the only Pro Bowl player. Someone's going to have to explain that to me, because I'm not down with that at all.
So I'm gonna look at the defensive players that are starters going into next season. Tyrese Knight, Byron Murphy. Tyrese, I think we were pleasantly surprised when Tyrese Knight was starting over Tyrell Dodson. And then when Ernest Jones filled in, it was like, okay, these two fit like a glove together. Derek Hall, Boy Mafe, Kobe Bryant. Since Kobe Bryant has been transitioned to the starting strong safety position, he's played great.
He has, yeah.
He really has. And
his interception has to be one of the highlight plays of the entire year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Against
yeah.
Arizona, the first Cardinals game, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know what their cap situation is like off the top of my head, but unless they like restructure a lot of deals, because we'll get to the Geno Smith discussion later, but there's a lot to be excited about